Welcome everyone to my kitchen. I'm Jen Haugen. I'm a registered dietitian. I'm an author and I'm a Pampered Chef kitchen consultant as well. And I'm super excited to be welcoming you to my Midwest Goodness kitchen. So today I'm going to share with you an easy one-pot meal that you are going to love to make for your family because it's fast and healthy and your family's going to enjoy eating it too. So this is one of those meals that, when your schedules are really crazy busy, this is the perfect thing you can make. So let's get started. The first thing I already actually did is I sauteed some ground beef with some peppers and onions. So I'll share a couple of my favorite tools while I'm doing this as well. So the first thing that I used was the new 5-quart nonstick Brilliance. Woo, look at that steam. The Brilliance pan. And this is the new cookware from Pampered Chef, and it's really great. So I just sauteed the 1 pound of ground beef in it, as well as the pepper and the onion. Now, this recipe actually makes enough for 6 servings. However, if you have a smaller family than that, that is okay. What you can do is still saute up the 1 pound of ground beef with the vegetables, and then just take half of it out and use that for burritos or tacos or something else that you want to use it with. So that is just a little tip for you as you make your dinners. So we've got that already sauteed, and I'm going to set this over here to the side. And what we're going to add into this is some extra ingredients to make this super nutritious. Now, this is super nutritious already. You've got the protein with the ground beef. You've got the vegetables in there that add the fiber and some other vitamins as well. We're going to add in some seasoning first off. So where did I put that seasoning? Okay, here it is. Here we go. It's right here. So we're going to add in, this is the new Everything Taco seasoning. And this is a new seasoning from Pampered Chef, and you can use this in place of your taco seasonings. And you only need a tablespoon per pound of meat that you plan to use. So you could use ground chicken, you could use ground turkey, you could even use ground pork if you want to as well. So you're going to just put that in with this mixture. It's going to add a lot of good flavor here. And so you just want to make sure that all of this is really mixed in. And this is just such an easy recipe. So you can make even the ground beef mixture ahead of time, like even on a Sunday, and then have this ready to go as well. So we've got that in there. The next thing we're going to add is a can of drained black beans. So I've already done that. And what I'm going to share with you is a quick little secret is if you want to reduce the sodium in your cans of black beans or any type of bean, you simply drain it, rinse it, drain it again, and you'll get rid of 40% of that sodium. So another quick tip for you. And also we're going to add in some tomato sauce. And we're going to do 2 cans of the tomato sauce that are 8-ounce cans. So if you have a 15-ounce can, that works great too. This is another one of my favorite tools that I love. It's the Smooth Edge can opener. And it does not allow for any sharp edges on your cans when you're cutting them. So this is a great thing for busy families, kids that are helping in the kitchen, college students. You can see, look at that. It's totally not sharp at all. So we're going to add in these 2 cans here of tomato sauce. Then we're going to also add in some broth. And it looks like I need to get a little bit more water in here. So one of the things I like to do is just make my own broth. So I just use water, and then I use the Better Than Bouillon beef base, and I get the reduced sodium style. And so I always have broth then available and ready because this is just like a nice beef base, and it's a teaspoon per cup of water that you're using. So I like to use that. And then you can just mix it around, and it turns it right into beef broth. And if you don't want to mix it around, you don't have to do that either. So we're going to add that in. So this is just a nice one-pot meal, casserole style. And then to that, we're going to add in our macaroni. So this is 1 cup of macaroni. I'm going to do 1 more cup of macaroni. Now you could swap this out for whole grain if you want to even boost this a little bit more with fiber. But the black beans in there are already giving you a lot of good fiber. So don't necessarily need to, pump it all the way. What we're looking for is about 10 grams of fiber per meal because we all need that much to keep our guts healthy, our colons healthy. So we're going to stick this back on the stovetop. This is all just mixed in nice. The great thing about this meal is that you do not need to boil the pasta and then drain it at all. It's all going to mix right in and cook together. So I'm going to set this right back on the stovetop. Put the lid back on. So I do appreciate that 5-quart nonstick saute pan actually has a lid. It's a nice glass lid. You can see through it. And then it's going to allow you to just peek in at your food without having to open it up at all. So the next thing we're going to do, that's actually going to bubble together for about 8 to 10 minutes because that's how long it takes really to cook up that pasta. So that's all we're going to do with that. Oh, and we need a cup of milk. I forgot that. So let's put some milk in there, and because that's going to add that creaminess. So that will just go right in with the pasta and the water, the broth. There we go. So while that cooks, now we just focus on the toppings. So what do you like to put on your tacos? Usually I would say all the fixings, the cheese, the tomatoes, the lettuce, all that kind of thing. Yes, totally you could do all those. If you want to keep it basic and simple, you can do a crushed tortilla topping. And so I'm going to share with you how to do that. This is just some chips, some tortilla chips that you can crush. You know how you always get the crumbs at the bottom of the bag anyway? We'll just use them for this recipe. So we're going to use all those crushed chips. We've got that. We're then going to add in some cheese and a little bit more of the seasoning. So 2 teaspoons of this everything taco seasoning. This is going to make it so it's like taco chips. How awesome is that? Making your own taco chips. And that's going to add a lot of good spice and flavor. And then you're going to, so you mix that together a little bit, and then you're going to add in some cheese. So we're going to grate some cheese, and I want to show you another one of my favorite tools here, which is this double grater, the adjustable double grater. So you can actually grate coarse or you can grate fine. So you can see that the fine edge is here and then the coarse edge is here. How this works is that it sits right on top of this little plastic box essentially. And then you can grate to your heart's content. Grating your own cheese actually does save you quite a bit of money because you can buy a block of cheese for much less than the pre-grated cheese. And you're going to get more out of an 8-ounce block of cheese when you're grating it versus 8 ounces of shredded cheese. This melts a lot better too because it's just the block and it doesn't have the the coating to help the cheese not stick together in the package. So this is natural. So I'm going to show you the difference here. So we can do the bigger coarse grate. These are great for when I really want a piece of cheese. Look at that. So great. So great. Isn't that funny? Okay. And then, whoops. Then we have the fine cheese as well, the fine grater. And I'll show you that too. This melts even super easier or even more easy because it's such a fine grate. So we're looking for approximately, let's see, a cup of the cheese. You can do more if you want for that, but look at how nice this is grating. I absolutely love cheese. It's one of my favorite things. So we've got about a cup here. This actually has some measurements on it, so you can note right away when you have reached the right amount of cheese, but is there ever too much cheese? So we're going to mix the cheese in, just a cup of the cheese. Let's see, where's my tortilla chips? I'm going to mix that in, and then what's going to happen is once the pasta is all cooked, we are going to put the remaining, we're going to grate a little bit more cheese. We're going to stir that into the pasta. Then we're going to top it with this mixture and then pop it in the oven for just like 6 minutes. So it all just starts melting together. And I'm just going to mix this with my hands here. So just the chips and the cheese. Think about this, chips and cheese. Doesn't that sound really good? So that's what's going to go on top of this taco chili bag. So we've got this all mixed together. And then another thing we need is to make like a little sauce that's got like some Greek yogurt in it. So I always swap Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt, for sour cream because it saves you so much in calories and fat. And you're going to get calcium and protein from this. So this is just like, for me, it's a no-brainer. So I highly encourage you to try it. You're going to love it, and you're not even going to know that it's Greek yogurt versus sour cream. So we're going to do 4 tablespoons of this. I'm just going to kind of do a heaping one there so it covers the last 2. And then we're going to add in even a little bit more seasoning. So see how this flavor just kind of adds throughout the entire dish. So just a teaspoon is all you need there. And then we're going to do just a tablespoon of milk because we just need something to thin it a little bit. There we go. You can see I'm not a very good measurer. I just like to dump it a little. So, and then we're just going to stir it together. And then you're going to get this, it's kind of like a little taco cream sauce. And this is going to be drizzled over the top after it comes out of the oven. So you're going to have that delicious gooey pasta with the tomato sauce and the broth that it's all soaked up and the beef. We're going to top that with cheese and stir that in. Then we're going to put on the topping with the chips and cheese and seasoning. Pop it in the oven, and once it comes out, drizzle it with this sauce. So I'm going to show that up a little bit closer here. You can see it's got like a little bit of the flecks of the everything taco seasoning. And then we're going to just add some fresh cilantro over the top. If you love fresh herbs, this is one of my favorite tools, the Herb Keeper. It's so great because it's going to keep your herbs fresher longer. And when I say fresher longer, I mean like 3 weeks. That's how long I can keep my cilantro fresh. And think about it, like instead of throwing it away every 4 or 5 days because you've left it in the package and it sits in the fridge and it just gets all gooey. We don't want that. So we're going to just tear some of this off. And some people are cilantro lovers, some people aren't. We happen to really like it. So I would encourage you to try it if you've never tried it because it adds so much flavor that you're going to just absolutely love it. Just takes everything up a notch. And I like to use the herb mill because what you can do is just put in your herbs in here, whether you're using any kind of herb really. Tonight's is cilantro. Gotta get every last little bit here. And then you pop this on and it's a little mill. So there's a little lid down here, so you take that off, and I'll just kind of show you how this works. You turn this little dial here, and that comes out completely minced up, which is awesome. And then you can just do that right over the top. So let's take a look at what's going on over here. I can see it's definitely boiling, and we're going to just give it a little stir. It's looking really good. And it's smelling even better. So it looks really good, but it smells even better. So we're going to let that boil. And then, so just like a couple more minutes. And then I'm going to, like I said, put this cheese in there. So I'm actually going to grate a little bit more cheese right now because that'll get stirred in. And this is also a recipe that, you know, if you make the entire batch, which is serving size of 6, if your family doesn't eat it all, of course, you have leftovers for the week, maybe for lunches, but then you also could even just freeze half of it. Like you don't have to cook it all at one time, but you could have the base ready to go. And all you have to do is add the cheese and the chips and then the rest of the toppings as well. So it makes it really easy to prep ahead a good meal that everyone will love. I really like the fine grate for this recipe because it'll just melt right in. Okay. There we go. So let me know any questions that you have about any of the products that you're seeing. You can also ask nutrition questions if you want, and I'll definitely come back and answer those. But you can use a lot of different kinds of cheeses in this, but cheddar works great because everybody loves cheddar. If you have a real adventurous family, you can also add in some of the different types of Mexican cheeses as well. So that would be a good idea too. Oh, and how I actually chopped up the onion and the pepper is with one of my favorite tools too, called the manual food processor. So you put the onion in, you pop the blade and the top on, and then you just pump it. And it really just minces everything up within just a couple of minutes. Not even a minute, I would say. And then it's ready to go. And what I love and what I actually do most weeks is I'll get that all done. I'll take the blade out, and then it comes with this other lid, a storage lid. So you can pop this on, put it in the fridge, and then you can just take your onions out all week long. So whenever you need them, you have them, and you don't have to chop them up every single time. So another quick and easy tip for you. So I've shared a lot of tools, a lot of tips. Again, you could double the ground beef in the recipe too. So maybe you want to have like 2 pounds of ground beef. And then what you can do is just take that half of that batch, so 1 pound of it, freeze that or keep it for another meal for the rest of the week. That'd be a great base for like burritos. So you could have that ground beef in there, and then you could add some beans and rice and all the other things, and then add your toppings as well. So there's all kinds of different things you could do with this recipe, and not just even the recipe, but what you can do with the extra ingredients that you want to make to meal prep ahead. So this is how you make this taco chili mac. Let's take a look again. It's all, you can see it's really boiling over here. It's looking really good. I can tell that the noodles are starting to plump for sure. And you've got the beans in there, all of that's going, and it's going to be a delicious meal. So if you want to get this recipe, just send me a quick message or comment with recipe. And if you message me through Facebook Messenger, that's how you'll get it the fastest. And you can stay tuned for more cook-alongs just like this, so that I can help you in the kitchen create those fast and healthy meals, even on busy nights like now. We know that school is here, everything's happening. So why not put a great meal on the table that you can feel good about? I don't want you to feel guilty about having something that's like, well, I don't know if I should have this. It's really still going to be okay by making this taco chili mac. It's going to be a nice hearty meal that your family will love. You can serve it with a salad. That would be great, with some fresh cherry tomatoes on top. You can also add in some fruit. So maybe you have some cans of mandarin oranges. Maybe you have some watermelon. Maybe you have some pineapple, whatever it is. Fruit, vegetable, and then the main dish. That's how I always do it. And I encourage you to do it as well. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. And again, if you want the recipe, please just comment recipe below or send me a message on my Midwest Goodness with Jen Haugen RD Facebook page so you can get that from me. And I'd love to help you in the kitchen. So I hope you enjoy this. Happy cooking from my kitchen to yours. We'll see you soon, and may good things come to you from Midwest Goodness.